Welcome to Beaver Lake, stop number 2 on our scuba diving the Midwest road trip. This behind me is Beaver Dam, and behind it is the 32,000 or just under 32,000 acre lake, Beaver Lake, which was established in the 1960s. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers built Beaver Dam to alleviate some flooding issues and to bring electricity and water, fresh water, to the people. They actually dammed the White River, which hopefully you can see down there, to make this happen. And so, as you can imagine, since then, this has become a pretty popular site for all kinds of water sports. We're up in the top of the Ozark Mountains, so there is just tons of beautiful hiking up here. I was actually here for a hiking trip a couple of months ago. We are at Beaver Dam Dive Shop. You can find them at damdiveshop.com. Beaver Dam Dive Shop and Resort has a couple dozen RV spots. They even have a motel with about 20 rooms. Keep in mind, only 7 or so of those have a private bathroom, so make sure to read the details when you're booking. Of the camper spots, some have full hookup, and then some have electric and water only. All of the spots at the top that have this view of the lake are 50 amps, so if you're a 30 amp, make sure to bring a converter. The spots down at the bottom by some of the motel rooms, those are already 30 amps. The dive shop has all your basic rental gear, plus gear for sale, air fills, rental tanks, everything you would normally expect, and so much more. Since this is an RV park, they have some groceries, but they also have hot food, pizza, and those kind of things that you can get. The dive shop is generally closed on Mondays and Tuesdays, and they are only open from March through October. But keep in mind that the dive park is only open from April through September anyway. So you want to make sure you're planning at a time that the Army Corps of Engineers is going to have that open for you. Check the water temperatures before you come, but you're probably going to want a dry suit or at least a 7 mil if you're coming in the spring. And as the water warms up over the summer, you might get away with a 5 mil towards the fall. So we just left the dive shop. The dive park is really only about 2 or 3 minute drive from the dive shop. And we're actually gonna cross over the bridge. You're gonna see this little peninsula behind us that has a bunch of like picnic spots and a campground. Some people do some scuba diving there, but the real dive park where you're gonna find most of this stuff is just down from there. We're gonna make a left into the park and find some parking. Be careful when you're coming back up because they actually use this to load jet skis and those kind of things. So you could be coming up behind somebody who's backing in a trailer. So just make sure you surface far enough away that you can take a look and make sure that everything is good. Now, when you're looking for the dive park, if you come down the boat ramp and you're gonna go to the left, anything over to the left is going to be the dive park area. I think it gets to about 40 feet at its deepest part. For the most part, where the lines and those kind of things. But if you come off the boat ramp and you go to the right, they call this area the bluffs. You can see there's a lot of swimmers over there right now. But the bluffs are said to have a lot of great wildlife and those kind of things. And apparently people like to hide little statues and those kind of things. So if you're gonna come out and go to the right, just make sure that you're going out and swimming along the side of the wall with the wall on your right side. And then when you get far enough down that you wanna turn your dive, then just shallow up a little bit, turn around and keep the bluffs on your left side and you'll get right back here to the We just got back from diving Beaver Lake Dive Park. Thank you to Cody and Nick for letting me tag along in your group. I really appreciate it since I didn't have a dive buddy. A lot of times when you get to the dive site, if you don't have a dive buddy, there's generally somebody who will let you buddy up with them. So thanks for letting me do that. I know I kind of hijacked your dive a little bit, but thank you so much for taking me out. You'll notice like the lake is up quite a bit right now. And so when the lake is high, a lot of people will actually just kind of go down the little incline here and straight into the lake. But I did that on the way down, but I fell like I generally do, and then ended up with a bunch of gravel in my shoes. So for me, I would go all the way down to the right and go in on the boat dock. That's how we came out. I'm not gonna tell you everything that is in the dive park because you need to come down here and see it for yourself, but we did go down. We saw a Volkswagen Beetle, we saw a piano, we saw a couple of little boats. There's quite a few rabbits for whatever reason, but had a great time. I could tell you that I was in a 5 mil wetsuit with a 5.3 hooded vest, and I was fine. I didn't even wear my socks or gloves with my boot, the socks with my booties or gloves today, and I was still fine. We went to 40 feet, and I can tell you that at 30 feet, 68 felt pretty cold. We got down to 40 feet and it was 65. When I got back up to 30 feet and 68, it felt nice and warm again. So just go deeper, and once you start feeling cold, start shallowing up, and all of that will seem much more warm on the way back. Great time. Visibility in the first 20 feet or so of the water column was about 8 to 10 feet. Probably 5 to 8 feet. So we did have a little bit of trouble keeping up with each other when it was a little bit shallower. But when we got deeper, you'll notice in the videos that the deeper we got, once we got down to 30, 35, 40 feet, it was really easy to keep track of my buddy and both of my buddies. So come on down to Beaver Lake. It was a great time. They have put a lot of work into this park, putting more features into the dive park, running lines and all of those kind of things to make it a really easy, nice, shallow dive. Lots of classes down here. We didn't run into a lot today, but I know that they run a lot down here. I didn't dive till afternoon because it was a little chilly this morning, and there were a lot of people down here doing classes, so I just kind of waited it out till after lunch. But come on down here, you're gonna love it.